Nailed it.
I got some sad news. Wanted to share with you guys. Did you know that the inventor of the throat lozenge passed away?
Oh God.
I know. There will be no coffin. There will be no coffin at the funeral.
Morbid but funny. Very good, Brandon. All right, yeah. Dead dad jokes. I'll take it.
Hey, I have T-shirts. I'm a part of a elusive club.
Dead dad jokes club?
No, dead dads.
Oh shit. Okay, well.
You could have did the womp womp womp.
I wish I should have. I think I got that, don't I? Oh, I got trombone. Got trombone somewhere on here. Trombone. No trombone. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Second Office. Host Alex George here with Doc. We got Brandon. And for the first time in a long time, we have my very good friend since high school and journalist for Athlon Sports, Trevor Squire.
Hello. Thank you for having me, George.
Trevor, you can have you any dang time. Anytime you allow me to have you, I will have you.
Oh,
First
you
of
really
all.
mean it?
First of all, yes. Of course
I don't know. I mean, he's like living out in Chicago now. That might be unsafe.
I'll drive.
Bear country.
Think I won't drive 6 hours to have Trevor? Because I will. Okay.
You are, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're planning on it this summer, actually. So that'll be
Amazing.
sweet. Yep. That'll be awesome.
Lock your doors.
All right. Let's get right into her. So we had a couple months back, we had just super briefly mentioned the Name a Snowplow contest in Minnesota. A winner has been revealed. Did you guys see this?
It's Minnesota sports related.
It sure is. It's Anthony Sledward's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Yep. Not bad. I thought there were some better ones, but Anthony Sledward's is great. It's very fitting. Okay. We talked about this last week. Brandon.
Yeah.
You and I are very into it. You and Doc are 2 episodes in. Trevor, I don't know if you've watched any. We've talked about it a little bit. But Love is Blind, the first part, has came and went, and we're waiting for more to drop tomorrow. I've watched the first 7. You guys have watched the first 2. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, for one, I thought you were on it at least 4 times.
Yeah. Yep. It's very much my demographic.
I was like, I thought this guy was married.
Yep.
Turns
out
out
not.
I'm having the hardest time distinguishing between each
Everyone.
male personality on this show. I want to call them all Alex. They all have the same haircut.
You are not the only one.
They all, sound the same. So yeah, I'm just having a hard time differentiating the two. I think Joey's my favorite. Joey is definitely my favorite.
Joey with the heaviest accent.
Heaviest accent, but he's kind of got like a Minnesota Seth Rogen thing going on.
I can hear it. I'm gonna have a hard time not hearing that now, I'm sure, but yes.
Is he the nicest of all of the Minnesotan contestants?
Man, he sure appears to be.
He's the first one that got engaged, so he's the one with the long hair. Kind of looks like a body type of a linebacker, but heart of a dog.
Apparently had D1 offers and stuff. No, he I would say he appears to be the nicest and so far most stereotypical Minnesotan. Mm-hmm. Kind of hands down. Well, like you said, Doc, they all look a lot, but Joey, his accent is unmatched. His accent is what we get made fun of for. And as much as I like to say we don't sound like that, then there's guys like Joey who prove me wrong.
And there you are. Yes, you
do.
There's rumblings on the internet, I know, and
there's a lot of alleged stories.
A lot of alleged stories I've heard through the grapevine, but that this season's kind of tainted because Netflix has put these women in front of a harmful man, allegedly. Apparently, one of these guys, Alex. Allegedly, is
not Alec.
Not me.
Right?
It's not me.
No,
I'm
not
not
you.
on the show.
Does he look like you? I just want to make sure you're safe.
Well, he kind of looks like me, but it's not me. I'm not on the show.
And you're not trying to sleep with high school girls
correct
anymore.
Right.
Dude.
It was a phase.
You were in high school at one point.
Yes.
Okay, right?
But that sounded so bad. That sounded so bad.
Yeah,
I have never done that.
No.
Allegedly.
Son of a. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll just stop it there
Did
then.
not have sexual relations with that woman.
With that high schooler. Dude, son of a bitch. Okay, this took a turn. Yes. I mean, go on to Instagram and you'll find some stuff. But this guy's apparently a total creep and goes after the younger ones. And I don't know if Netflix just did a shit job vetting. But what the hell? We were so excited for the Minneapolis one, and now we get all the same guys. They're all the same, and one of them's problematic.
Well, I mean, isn't that Minnesota though? Aren't all the guys the same?
And problematic? I hope not.
I heard that I'm not sure if it was Netflix. I've also heard that it was this guy's family, but they scrubbed his social media accounts after there was like, a big ousting, leaking of these allegations against him.
Yep. It allegedly comes from a well-to-do family who helped him out, who helped get this stuff off the internet. And so maybe Netflix missed it. Hope I can give them the benefit of the doubt.
Or they wanted it.
Or they wanted
because
it,
look,
you know?
we're talking about it.
Exactly.
Now people are going to go watch to see who this guy is.
I know, and I'm going to put Love is Blind in the description to try to get views that way.
They're going to hear a sob story about how he ate lunch in the bathroom stall by himself because he was bullied.
Yep. That's right, Brandon. Hell yeah.
And then, what does any self-respecting guy do? He goes back to high school 10 years later to try to have the relationships he couldn't have in high school.
Seriously. So obviously, like I said, through the grapevine's grapevine, this is alleged.
All allegedly.
All allegedly. I've heard it a few places now.
I just love how he started the conversation with right out the gate with, man, I got made fun of a lot in high school and had to eat lunch by myself in the bathroom and
covering the bases. He's getting them on their side. That's how you do it.
You just I get all my anxiety out first thing when I get to know a girl. There's no there's nothing good about me right away. I'm going to tell you everything embarrassing about me. I used to be morbidly obese and have to wear a sweater everywhere.
It's very nice to meet you. I was fat and bullied.
I was the biggest loser ever. I cried every day. I didn't know how to talk to women. Apparently still don't.
Hearing the alleged things I've heard about him, I'm okay making fun of him right now. This is good.
Absolutely.
This is good. Okay.
You deserve it.
Yeah. And it's our show. We can do what we want.
You're damn right. Thank you, Brandon. Cannot wait for the second half of the season. I didn't know this was a Netflix thing. They release the first 7 and then the next 7, I think, tomorrow.
I really wish they would just do it week by week and make you suffer because, like, me and Brandon, we're being good TV watchers and pacing ourselves.
That's not a good TV watcher. That's a choice.
I'm sorry, we're not binging it like it's crack.
That's how you do it. That's how you do Netflix.
And we don't have that kind of time that you have. You don't have,
Oh, God, you're childless.
Different lives.
You're childless.
I have
Childless.
very furry children who allow us to binge watch Netflix shows because they just sleep. They just chill.
Just let me be jealous.
I know.
I can let you guys be jealous.
God.
Okay. Let's. Can't wait to talk more about it next week. Can't wait to see if
who's your favorite contestant so far? If you only watched the first 2 episodes, Alec.
Yep. Joey, just because he seemed like a sweetheart. And then I like. I'm not going to spoil nothing because. The drama ramps up at the end. At least at the end of the first 7 episodes. The short guy who's all worried about his height.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I like those 2.
Man, so like the very first episode, I'm terrible with names, so I don't remember her name.
Mason seemed cool too, who does the cinematography.
But she is a nurse who puts people to sleep or whatever, right? And starts talking about how she works at places that do colonoscopies, and I'm like, this girl has seen my asshole.
That's true.
Just like I'm like, there's a girl on TV right now who has seen my asshole.
Oh man!
Because I totally thought I really hope my wife's not listening.
She doesn't.
But I totally thought one of the girls in the room was like smoking hot, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl is so attractive, and she's about to see my ass.
So there was a couple of them were nurses,
not
right?
Pretty.
Come on, maybe a little hairy. Give yourself some credit. There's a couple were. Won't we ask what's her name? Yeah. There was a couple that were nurses, weren't there? Okay.
Yeah, but she specifically said that she does she works for someone.
Which one was this?
I don't.
What did she look like?
She's blonde and gorgeous.
All right.
Yeah, I don't
that describes half the cast, right? Because that's
know.
Minnesota.
I don't know.
My wife's not on the show, though.
Ooh, there you go, Brandon. Way to fit that in there. I'm not even going to give you the drum and snare because that was nice. That was just nice to your wife.
Was it?
Yeah, he's not kidding at all. All right.
But she does deal with an asshole on a daily basis. I'm just saying.
There you go. Hell yeah. All right. I want to get right into a little bit of the NBA first, since we're coming back from the All-Star break. We haven't talked about it as much as I would like to before we go into the NFL, because the NFL's nothing's happening, right? We're also very glad the Chiefs got their butts beat. But anyway, NBA. Trevor does writing for both the Vikings and the Timberwolves. One thing that's kind of been it's one of those things where it's like, what does this matter? But I like it because it's a Timberwolves player, and we haven't had this since KG. There's been a lot of talks of the face of the league, the next face of the league. Over All-Star break, Ant was asked, "Do you think you're the face of the league?" He said, "No. That's what y'all have Wemby for." And you know, that's a fair take. Stephen A. Smith, on the other hand, says, "I don't believe an international player can be the face of the NBA. I know they are global iconic figures. Their popularity extends globally, but the NBA is an American-born sport. My wish is that Anthony Edwards changes his mind about not wanting to be the face of the NBA." And Trevor, you had said other people had input on that too.
Mm-hmm. Carmelo Anthony had a pretty insightful comment on Desus and Miro have a podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And Melo basically said that you can't run from this, Ant. Like, no matter what you say, what you do, you're going to be in 4 out of the next 5 commercials afterwards. And, like, basically you can't decline being a superstar given how magnetic he is. And it's just something he's going to have to learn to embrace.
It's almost not up to him to a point. He's got the endorsements. He's got the commercials. He's gotten the media buzz. He's backed it up on the court.
The antics don't help his case at all when he's given Kevin Durant the Triple H special in the NBA playoffs. Like,
you don't think that helps, or I think that might help outside of the media, just maybe with the younger generation.
Oh, I mean, they love it. You know, obviously the NBA might turn their head to it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's only creating more buzz. Any pub is essentially good pub in his case.
What about all the baby mamas?
Yeah, that not so much. And I feel like that's what he's kind of signaling at. It's like he has a little bit of like negative news out there on him, and he just kind of, it's like there's a responsibility of being the face of the NBA, and he's 23 years old. I'm not sure if any 23-year-old is ready to be the face of the NBA.
That's what I took it as too. Because the other side of Ant, right? He apparently does not smoke, does not drink, dislikes playing video games and hanging out with his family at home. But the comments, and then you see all this stuff with baby mama stuff, for example. It does seem like not necessarily something that he's accepting and doesn't. Exactly what you were saying. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. He's running from it. He doesn't want that extra weight.
There's also like, I haven't dug too much into it, but there's obviously one particular relationship that I feel like every single time Ant makes major headlines, someone can also just crop up this story again. And, obviously the more he ascends to superstardom, the more light this also gets. So it's a bit of a shadow for him right now that, I think with time, maybe it'll heal itself, or maybe things will really come to roost.
Gotta wonder. I would very much enjoy him being the face of the NBA. I think he's got to prove it a little more on court, though he's done, outside of winning a championship, he's done more than Minnesota could have hoped. It is still yet to be seen how much of that was a team he had around him last year. But he rises to the occasion in the playoffs, and he fits the bill otherwise, because who are the other options? If we're listening to Stephen A. Smith, it can't be Jokic. Technically, though he should be. I think when it's all said and done, Jokic could be top 5 of all time. I think he is still the best player in the NBA, and I don't think it's close. Then there's Shai Gilgeous.
No Wemby.
No Shai. No,
that's Canada. Come on, like
I know, right? But he
enough.
could too, because I'll say Shea's better than Ant right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I like Ant more. I like watching Ant play more. I think
Ant doesn't flop like a little bitch.
Personality.
Yeah, and Ant doesn't flop like a bitch. I love Shea. I really love Shea. He's amazing, but he does the head snap like the fucking best of them, and I hate it. It sucks. Meanwhile, Ant just yells, but he doesn't flop. I'll listen to A Ref a million times before I see his head snap back and he's got his chin towards the ceiling.
Yeah, no, and I think the Timberwolves kind of handed it to him too. Obviously, with the Cat trade, like that sucked, but like that was the move that's telling us Anthony Edwards is the Timberwolves franchise player.
Correct.
And one playoff appearance with Cat. It depends on how far they'll go, but this is going to be entirely on his shoulders, and it's going to be his ownership of the situation finally.
That is correct. Yeah, especially when it's still like 26 games left or something like that. There's a good chunk of the season, and a lot of the NBA is hitting your stride at the right time, and they still very much could. When the Timberwolves look very good, they look like a top 5 team. The inconsistency has been crazy, though. That said, we have Julius Randle and Dante are both ramping up and nearing their returns. Julius has been cleared for 5-on-5, and Dante is now resuming basketball activities. And I always thought that was the most hilarious designation. He can pick up a basketball again. And it's like, I thought it was his toe. Anyways, so they're getting back. And it's funny because we've kind of started to gel with some of these younger guys who bring in such an awesome spark from the bench with Jalen Clark. Rob has been up and down, but he can score and pass. He's getting more comfortable, and that shows. And meanwhile, this stretch that Jaden McDaniels is on, my personal favorite player on the Wolves, is insane. He's proven himself more than worth the contract he signed that he was getting shit for at the beginning of the year when he was struggling a little bit.
He's turned it around so much.
100%.
But also Nas. I mean,
and Nas should hopefully.
I think that's the biggest story coming out with Julius coming back is like, what are they going to do with Nas Reed?
Correct, because I always thought, and we saw this when Cat went down last year with the calf strain, before the was that what it was? I don't know, whatever it was, or no, it was the knee deal. He had to have that shave surgery for Cat. Anyways, Nas filled in beautifully. Really beautifully, and we really didn't miss a beat. We had a good record without Cat, and it was awesome. And Nas he's shooting 40+% from 3 again and just letting it rip, and he's a good passer. It's awesome. I love Nas, and if we can sign him for less than the $60 million that Cat was getting, then no matter what happens with Dante or Julius, I'm okay with the Cat trade. He's shown himself to get banged up again in New York, even though he's having the best year of his career, but he's banged up again. And I'm not confident at all that he pops off like he has been in the regular season as soon as they get to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there's no saying he would have played like this here. There's a lot to
correct.
go with the supporting cast in New York.
Correct. That's very correct. I'm very excited to see how the Wolves finish up the season. We all had the kind of feeling at the beginning of the season that they were. It looked like they were hungover from getting their ass whooped in the Western Conference Finals, right? And gelling with a new team. So yes, that takes time. It's a super long season. So I'm still very hopeful. Couple tidbits. Go, Trevor. Go.
Oh, I feel like I like the Wolves just given the state of the team and that we have a young core that's developing. I like the Wolves. I know it was frustrating first half of the season, but I like the Wolves being a team kind of like on the cusp of a home seed, but not being, number 2 or number 3 in the conference. Because I feel like that just comes with a whole new weight where I'd rather be a sneaky dark horse. I think that's a good identity for this team right now.
I agree. I think they could find a lot of motivation in that too. Yeah, it is frustrating seeing as, if they don't lose back-to-back to the Blazers early on. They don't lose to fucking Washington. Those are 3 wins they should have had. That
Blazers team went on a tear for
I know they've actually been better. They have been better recently. They do have, they have good players that probably won't be there a while. They're obviously rebuilding, but they've found a lot with that limited roster. It's been has been fun to watch them. We also lost when we should. I don't know. There's a handful of games, right? The Wolves have been very bad in close games this year. as opposed to last year where they were beating the teams they should beat. That's not happening this year. Give us 3 wins that we could have easily had. Blame that on coaching, blame it on whatever you want. And we're like the 4 seed, right? So that'd be nice. I desperately want to stay out of the play-in because anything can happen in the play-in.
Including what's his name? Including a jersey tear and standing on tables, which is probably one of the best Minnesota sports moment of my life.
Doc, who was that? Pat Bev. Nice, nailed it.
Pat Bev,
yes.
Crushed it.
It was yes, that was a great.
The fact Doc can get that over me is a little humiliating, but we carry on.
No, Trevor, it was me who said Pat Bev. You'll see it you'll see it on the video. I made a joke. he had no idea. He had no damn clue. Okay.
Well, Pat Bev played for the Bucks for a little bit, but I guess it's not your team either.
No.
Nope. But Brandon's team. Brandon, do you remember Pat Bev?
No.
Good. No need.
Cool.
There's really no need to remember Pat Bev. Really not a fan of his outside of his season on the Timberwolves. Anyways.
And this year it's all go Cavs go.
You're a Cavs fan this year over the Bucks, huh?
No.
Must be nice.
Let's not get mixed here.
Okay.
I'm always going to be a Bucks fan,
Okay,
always
good.
and forever.
Okay, good.
But I have to also embrace the city I live in and
There you
the
go.
teams that are here, the best of my ability, and I make a lot of revenue at the first job from those teams, so.
So,
Go Cavs!
Go Cavs, baby! The Cavs are amazing to watch this year. It's they're kind of like us from last year, where they have the 2 7-footers locking down the paint, and then super electric guards. More so than even the Wolves had last year. Their offense is way better than the Wolves last year. They move and shoot better. They're similar to the Wolves in that they're the sneaky team that people weren't expecting to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, and they've kept themselves relatively healthy for the most part.
Yes.
They did great things in the trades right before the
Deadline.
the trade deadline. So
Yep.
I think they're positioned to make a deep run.
Absolutely.
And potentially win the whole thing.
They're gonna-
I hope they do.
They're going to be hard to stop. I'm going to be very surprised if it's not them in Boston in the conference finals. The rest of the East is mediocre at best, I feel like. If maybe the Bucks can figure it out. You have to assume with Dame and Giannis they'll do something. But again, Dame's old as shit now, and he's
but he can still light it up.
I know he's still an amazing shooter, right? He seems to get picked on the defensive end in the playoffs. But who knows? Who knows, right?
And to go back to your comment about who the face of the NBA is, I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is, I know who the chubbiest cheeks of the NBA is. That's gonna be Luka. Those big old soft cheeks.
Okay,
I want to pinch him.
I want to hear it from the 2 non-NBA fans or non-ish NBA fans. What do you think of the Luka trade?
The Mavs are stupid.
It's the most insane shit, and the fact that even players are coming out and said, yeah, there had to be under the table shit. There had to be direction given somewhere. This does not make sense.
Well, and especially that they don't shop him to anybody else.
Exactly. Well, no,
they
there was,
allegedly made a phone call to Minnesota,
and that was like a week after
and we
for
want,
damage
and
control.
they wanted Edwards.
That was damage control. That was fucking damage control. 100% damage control. Because they had even admitted. Pelinka even said it. Yeah, he called me and proposed it. And then Pelinka even talked him down to a lesser price. It's insane. It doesn't make sense.
This is me with every fantasy football trade I accept at 4 a.m. that you guys say I'm colluding. It's just it's just beautiful. Like
when it shows up like that.
You wake up, you hear your phone ding, and you're like, oh my God. Yes, I will take this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
God,
Brandon,
how much fucking beer did you drink tonight? Of course I'm accepting this deal.
Brandon's still just not sleeping.
Yeah, it's
this will work out great.
God, it's Rich at the freaking strip club shooting pool going, yeah, I'll send you Jonathan Taylor for a 3rd round pick in Alexander Madison.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
What the fuck? Is that when he was injured and had like the back issues or something?
He started slow.
Wow. Highway robbery. Here's Anthony Edwards on the Luka Doncic trade. Quote, he didn't look 270 to me. Man, he averages 30 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. I don't give a damn if you're 300 pounds. You're fine with me.
Like, seriously.
Which 100%, like, it's crazy. They could have got the biggest haul of all time. I love Rudy so much. Huge Rudy fan. The fact that he got fucking almost twice, regardless of Anthony Davis, still got damn near twice as much for Rudy than for Luka. Makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And how they continue to just call him fat.
They just don't like the guy.
Weeks after the trade.
They don't like the guy.
No, it was crazy.
He had to sleep with somebody's daughter.
Did you guys see well, apparently what it was, there was a New York Times article. Do you see that at all?
No.
Trevor, did you? I know that was shared in our group chat.
Not sure.
So there was a New York Times article, and I mostly just caught the excerpts saying people inside the organization were terrified of Luka and his habits. He would fill his water bottle with Arnie Palmy's iced tea and lemonade.
That sounds great.
You know, he likes smoking hookah. This, and that. There was one time where they ruled him out for 5 games with the wrist injury. That was apparently bullshit. They had told him, use this time to up your conditioning, which he apparently did not. So it was a hit piece, right? It was very much a hit piece. At the same time, I don't give a shit. Like Ann said,
that makes me like him more.
He just dragged a team that had no business being in the finals to the fucking finals.
Yeah,
it was all him. It was crazy.
Yeah,
It makes no sense. It still makes no sense. So I'm glad we can have our part in this discourse, saying, I'm so sorry to the Mavs fans. I'm so sorry. What the fuck did that organization do? It's insane. And now Davis is out indefinitely.
I just don't understand too. Like, why do you have to go to the Lakers?
Oh, exactly. That's why it's fishy, right? And to say, oh, we're worried about him long term, and you trade for a 33-year-old who's played more than 60 games once in the last 5 years, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it makes no fucking sense.
Especially when he only has one eyebrow. I mean, God.
The brow. And he's great, right? I mean, the Mavs got the entire Anthony Davis experience in the first 3 quarters of the game. Completely dominates, shutting everyone down on defense, dunking over everyone on offense, even hitting threes, which he can't necessarily do, but he does from time to time. Doing it all, pumping up the crowd. He's going insane. Non-contact injury, groin injury, out indefinitely.
I have those two getting out of bed.
How come you don't get paid $250 million?
I don't know, man. I mean, especially like if we're talking about not being conditioned, like I just finished a beer. Like, pay me.
Pay me. Right.
And I honestly think that we need to give the
show.
freedom back to professional athletes. We need to let them smoke cigarettes and weed and have a little shot of whiskey before a game.
Totally agree.
Why not?
I mean, if you want to do a bump of coke off a stripper's nipple,
why the hell not?
And then go knock out 4 quarters? Yeah, go for it.
Especially in Luka's case, if you're putting up 30-10-8.
Yeah.
And bringing your team to the finals. He brought your team to the finals months ago. It makes no sense.
He probably pumps those numbers. He does a little bit of coke.
You gotta wonder.
Have
Brandon,
you seen that clip of it was a Mavs like front office member or maybe a coach? One of the Mavs personnel grabbed a beer from Luka's hand during their celebration for winning the Western Conference Finals.
And all the joy just gets sucked out of his face.
Something fishy going on there.
Really?
He knew he was going to be traded right there.
Interesting. Well, apparently, so Nico Harrison, the GM who traded him, allegedly a health nut, right? And allegedly, this is in the New York Times article too. So maybe not allegedly. I guess he heard this from a source. Would start conversations with people and employees saying, "What'd you have to eat today?" And that pissed me off.
I had a 60-40.
I've had a quarter pounder with cheese today. And a small fry.
Beautiful 60-40.
And that's pretty much it.
And a Greek Chobani yogurt.
Pay me millions.
Cannot believe Mark Cuban let that happen.
Well, he wasn't.
No, he didn't. No, he made fun of it after.
He did.
Yeah, he's done. I mean, he doesn't have majority.
No, he was on some.
He has a minority, doesn't he?
It was actually very funny. He was on a panel discussion with Bill Gates, and and Bill Gates did not bring it up. The question was not asked, but Mark rounded it into it. It was hilarious. He said, "Bill, maybe you can help me out with this one. What would you do if you found out that you had just traded Windows 11 for Windows 10?" And everyone started laughing. So Mark was absolutely not on board. Of course he wasn't. It'd be stupid. Yeah, it's crazy shit.
George, I do have one more Wolves nugget.
Let's go.
If we could talk about it briefly.
Yes, please.
So the mention of the 2 7-footers in Cleveland reminded me of a clip from, it was a documentary. I'm not sure what it's titled, but I've seen it crop up on Twitter. This documentary covering the Summer Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And the NBA team met with Obama. The basketball team met with Obama. And number one,
yes,
Obama knows who Nas Reed is, because he says, he's talking to Ant like, well, you guys got those 2 7-footers. Oh, I guess you got 3 because of Nas Reed.
Even though he's like 6'9", 6'10", but still, yes.
Yeah, close enough.
A lot of size. Cool. Jaden's taller than Nas, cool. Which is funny.
I'm glad Nas has that star power. Yes. However, after that conversation, Ant like gave Obama pushback. He said like, like someone was saying like, oh, you think you're pretty good? He was with Joel Embiid. Yeah. And he's like, I'm the truth.
Yep.
And then Obama like immediately just calls LeBron over and just like, LeBron, have you talked to this young man? And it was like, I'm like, I kind of think he tested Obama a little bit. Obama seemed irked before LeBron kind of cleared the air.
Yes, absolutely. And how it started was I missed the quote. I did watch the video. I didn't make out exactly what Obama said, but he said something to the effect of Cat and Rudy not working or something like that. And Ant shut him down. Ant said no. He said we're not going to go there. He said stop. He told Obama no.
not working against Embiid. That's what it was.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Which I mean
it was great.
True, but
sure. Maybe Embiid 2 years ago. Correct. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Ant he should probably be the face of the league. He's just got that unbridled confidence that
again,
really fun
not
to watch.
Trying to fawn over anything. Like, nice to meet you, Mr. President. Like, he just kind of gave Obama the Anthony Edwards treatment.
Yes, 100%.
Same with that dude walking in the tunnel at the All-Star game, and he passed by. The guy's like, come to London. He's like, ain't no way in hell I'm coming to London.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no way he can avoid this. He cannot run away from this. Like, this is just who he is, and people love it.
It's kind of been decided for him. You're absolutely right. Okay, last NBA bit. Out of nowhere, Victor Wembanyama out for the season with a blood clot in his shoulder that the team assumes to be an isolated incident.
Little boy.
I feel like they're just tanking. They
get him more star power?
Yeah, they didn't do as well in the first half of the season as they had hoped. They'll let CP3, I don't know, do his thing with Fox on the team now. I don't even know how much I like that trade for them. De'Aaron Fox is really good. I don't know how much he moves the needle for a championship caliber team. Obviously, they're hoping Wemby moves that needle eventually as he gets stronger and better. He's already great. I don't know. I guess a blood clot's a specific thing, and that'd be a weird thing to lie about. But my first thought was they're tanking to get up in the lottery again.
They're going to go for the guy from Duke. What's his name?
Coop
Yeah.
Flag.
That's what I hear.
That would be crazy. It would be crazy.
Seen Bobby Portis was suspended for 25 games for the Milwaukee Bucks
for drugs.
It was for apparent. I've seen some medical doctor on Twitter. It was for like a really minor painkiller, apparently.
Yeah.
God, the league is so weak.
It is. I know. Hey, I mean, this is a few years old that they stopped testing for weed, which is that's positive. The NFL should take. NFL should do the same. When the whole league does
Ricky
it for
Williams
pain
was
relief.
so fast.
Could you imagine him not high? How fast he would be?
Or would he slow down? You never know. You gotta wonder. Maybe that was his secret. Ricky, what's he doing now? He's sure just combined.
I can tell you what,
he's probably stoned.
He's got a Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah,
he's high out of his fucking mind.
Oh, Ricky.
Yeah, he has his own brand of marijuana.
He does?
Yeah,
we have to give that a shot. To give that one a shot,
dude. This is great. His brand is called the Heisman.
Oh my
fuck
god!
Off. I gotta try it.
On.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Can I just
this
have that?
guy?
Can I just have that like mail?
The sticky Ricky indica dominant strain he brought to Las Vegas.
Oh my god! For like the cup.
Can the second
cup?
office be sponsored by this? Ricky, if you're listening,
we'll reach out.
Ricky,
let's do this.
We'll reach out. We'll DM him.
Fucking legend, man.
Seriously,
there'd be no cost to you outside some product.
That's all. But he's loaded, probably, right?
Yeah.
Man, that sounds
Does
good.
he have the THC beverages? Because those are just delicious.
I would assume those are like flying off the shelves. In an attempt to smoke less, I bought a lot of THC shooters, little 10 milligram shooters. So I love the drinks too, like the full, like you're drinking a beer, but you sip on them and you know they like kind of ease on and you're never super stoned if your tolerance is up, I guess, like mine. You take a shooter and it hits at once, and it's and it's similar, and it feels nicer than a smoky head high, in my opinion.
Well, congratulations on taking care of yourself and cutting down,
Thank you very much.
they sell them. You can legally sell it in bars in Chicago. And I know a lot of people who've been, kind of pulling back on their alcohol and just hanging out for 3-4 hours sipping those. I don't know how you manage to drink more than one and function, but it's really cool.
Well, if you're sipping, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Yes, it is very cool, though.
You just have high tolerance.
I've been smoking a long time. I get it.
You don't have any farm equipment, right? Like
I do not. Good. No, I've been thinking about growing though. I feel like that'd be fun. Anyways, NBA, weed, hand in hand, right? Sorry, I said last bit of NBA. I got one more just because fuck Draymond Green, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that just like a never-ending segment? That should just be like a footnote to the NBA.
I'm happy to end all NBA discussion every episode here on out with fuck Draymond Green.
And remember,
Oscar Robertson, Hall of Famer, had an awesome fucking diss on Draymond Green. Draymond Green was talking. He was talking about, I think, why. Hi, Jane. Was talking about why it's. I forget what he said. Something in lieu of the All-Star game not being as popular anymore or something. And
got the hockey game on.
And Robertson just said something along the lines of, I had it here, but it's not. Here it is. Draymond says so much. I mean, who cares what he says? It might be boring to him. Oh, about the All-Star game being boring. It might be boring to him because if he's not passing the ball to Curry, what is he doing? Nice job, Oscar.
I love that.
That's a good one. All right. And that concludes the NBA. Let's go on to the NFL. There's not much happening, but we got a few things. There's a few things. Trevor, I am interested in a couple of your opinions. This is lot of potential players on the defensive side of the ball that the Vikes are losing. There's a Sports Illustrated rumor that Cam Bynum is more likely to stay with the team than Byron Murphy. Those are two guys I would like both of them back. I guess Cam being younger, but our need at corner being a little stronger. I don't know.
Are you asking who I'd prefer to stay or who's more likely to stay?
Both. Definitely both.
I mean, it's hard because I think it just comes down to what price they can get each at. I think Murphy has more value.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Cam Bynum, but I do think that he is replaceable.
That's what I'm saying.
Not many Vikings fans know, but Theo Jackson has been a backup for a couple of years. But
yeah, who was a 7th round pick who's just earned his time.
Yeah, and he's been studying the Josh Metellus role, which is every position on the defense.
Which is
basically.
Every damn position. I know. Love Metellus.
He's fully capable of stepping into that Bynum role, where Murphy plays the slot. There's not a lot of guys who can play the slot well.
Right.
And yeah, I think I've seen more so from the Star Tribune and more local beat reporters that Murphy seems to be the preference there, and I think that's also the wiser move.
I would agree. I don't know. I don't know what the money would look like. Who would be more expensive? I think our need at corner is bigger, and like you said, Bynum being a little more replaceable. Do we know for sure if Harrison Smith is back? I know I had my goodbye to him.
Man, I mean nothing. How Harrison's gonna be. It's he's already said there's not gonna be any inklings of it happening beforehand. He's gonna post a photo of Prince, Purple Rain, and that's just gonna be it. It's gonna be on Twitter the day free agency opens.
Good point.
But I'm sure he's keeping the Vikings privy to where his head is at right now.
Yeah, I would assume so as well. He's always been an under the radar guy, so I'm not surprised we.
And the Vikings have now more money. They increased the cap.
Yes, we have more than we even thought we were going to have. I think we have. What is it? Maybe Trevor. I don't know. Top 5.
$65 million. We're top 7, and that's without. We have a lot of restructures and things that we can do if we really want to open up a contention window for the next couple of years.
Okay.
And that's obviously where the quarterback debate comes into place. But we're well off without those measures also.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get $40 million low to Darnold.
Yeah.
According to Sport Trek, the Minnesota Vikings are projected to have over $61 million in cap space going into 2025. Now, with the report that the cap is set to rise by at least $20 million from last year, the Vikings will have even more.
Which I don't know if you guys saw this. This was over All-Star. Or, where was this? Sorry, I got caught up in the All-Star at the NBA. Anyway, I had it.
It's gone.
Nope, I didn't have the link. Anyways,
like the Vikings season.
Damn it, dude. JJ McCarthy is not who I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about Justin Jefferson. I saw JJ in my notes. Justin Jefferson was being interviewed by someone, and Justin Jefferson made a pitch for Myles Garrett, as are a lot of people in the league right now. Apparently, Aiden Hutchinson has talked to him, and whoever the hell else, right? Is that, would we do that, Trevor? Is that something we did do or would do or should do? Does he be expensive? He's coming up on 30, if he's not 30 already. It'd be sweet.
He wouldn't be super expensive. He's looking for an extension, so we'd obviously have to pay him.
So the trade cost would be lower?
Yeah, which again, like we just signed 2 edge rushers. I know that man can win anywhere.
Right.
The problem is going to be the cap. I'm sorry, not the cap, but the draft collateral you don't have to get him.
Correct.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd have to be our first rounder, and then what, players or future firsts?
It would be future this year's first round, next year's first round, and maybe a 2 or a 3 on top of it.
I don't think he's getting that because whoever gets him has to sign him.
I think he gets 1-1.
It's like going to be a 1 and a 3.
Listen to Dakota, everyone. He knows.
I mean, out of all of us, who's won a Dynasty Fantasy Football Championship?
The second office GM.
More qualified than any of us. Let's go.
Yep.
It's true.
Roasted.
I took last in my fantasy league. I trust Dakota's input.
Let's write this shit down.
Yep.
And let's see who hits.
Okay.
I'm only half kidding, actually. I actually trust Dakota's opinion more than I would my own. So
just being a little cheeky. That's all.
No, I just think that you look at historical trades, right? I mean, who's giving up 2 1s for a defensive end that needs an extension? Who's 30 that you're going to have to pay $20 to $30 million for 4 more years?
Right.
That's what that guy wants, right?
Yeah.
That's what he wants in Madden.
Mm-hmm. He also wants a chance at the Super Bowl.
And we know GMs look at Madden.
Apparently, we found that out.
Worse.
Found that out for sure.
Speaking of the Jets, I mean, are you guys excited to get your new quarterback?
Yeah,
can't wait.
History's
we got to complete the circle.
Well, I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers to the Minnesota Vikings. You heard it first here on the Second Office.
Man, are we in a matrix if that happens? That's broken.
You'd have to be, right? And you can no longer convince me that we're not in some type of simulation or something. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he apparently pleaded with the Jets to stay with the team before they decided to part ways.
Why?
Please.
It's an NBC.
I don't want to be lonely.
It's an NBC Sports article. He was on his knees.
I still have to send my dick pics.
I just thought it was funny after all the hit pieces that came out about the Jets organization. But apparently,
the dude doesn't want to be there.
Apparently, Rodgers. I know, right? It's
That's only because they haven't released or traded Devontae yet.
Good point. Yeah, and then he's like, "Never mind, I can leave." Also, this was by a Broncos beat reporter, Trevor. I don't even have his name right now, but there's so KOC got his extension. We had a nice cock extension, and then you're welcome.
Talking about this for a month.
Yeah. Nope. That's just my segue, Brandon. It's just my segue. It's not related to cock extensions. Reports that the Wilfs are wanting to see another Kwesi draft class before giving him his extension.
As they should.
So I won't ask about the validity of the rumor, but do you think that should be the case?
Can I ask a qualifying question to that?
Yes.
Is that like draft class consist of more than 4 draft picks?
That's what I'm saying. I know this would be a hard one to judge him on.
You don't see a draft class coming to fruition until at least 2 years in, and we're talking. I say give a full 1.5 full seasons. Like they will not have a consensus before then. Honestly, I think they show up to the combine and they're going to announce that they've extended this man. It's probably not as competitive of a deal as O'Connell got for being a head coach.
Yeah.
But the Vikings want organizational lockstep at the end of the day. And I think it's kind of silly to suggest that Adofo-Mensah is in the hot seat.
I totally agree. If anything, the free agent class from this past season has given him some breathing room. If there was even notions of a hot seat. That said, what if Dallas Turner is to come into this season and he's hot shit, and we just have 3 killer edge rushers, and the trade works out in their favor? Then I think the extension is absolutely warranted if it isn't already.
He's pretty marred for that 2022 draft class, like Lewis Seen, Ed Ingram, Brian Asamoah.
And don't forget the cornerback from Clemson.
Andrew Booth Jr. Who went with Zimmer and lasted a few weeks there.
Yep, but otherwise didn't
But
do
either
shit.
way, this whole draft class, Kwesi's marred for this draft class, which he basically inherited Rick Spielman's scouting department. Had to piece together a draft plan in 2.5, 3 months.
Yes.
It wasn't, I know they kind of went chasing after certain metrics that didn't pan out, but again, this dude drafted Jordan Addison. I feel like that gets overlooked.
It totally does.
There's been incredibly good undrafted prospects that they've hit on, like Ivan Pace. That all accounts for scouting. Just because they didn't draft a guy doesn't mean someone can't draft. It's talent evaluation at the end of the day.
That's a good point. There was also who was the last guy you mentioned before Ivan Pace? Okay. I don't know if this was a case. Apparently, Kevin had to ask Kwesi not to trade back with the Addison pick. Did you hear anything about that?
They've seen I've seen footage from, the war room that the Vikings released.
And they're both psyched, right?
KOC, yeah, but he did seem a little nervous because Kwesi being a good general manager was exploring all options.
Yep.
And KOC, Jordan Addison's great. KOC was pull the trigger, do it now. Mm-hmm. And Kwesi was essentially just, going through his process, dotting his I's, crossing his T's.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. This is the last. We'll, I don't know, maybe not. I'm not going to make that promise. In the talks around Sam Darnold, don't even seem to be hiding it anymore. KOC was on ESPN radio and had this to say. We had belief in Darnold. He earned it every day with his teammates on a daily basis. But then also to have J.J. McCarthy now healthy and going to have a full season, I think it's going to be really exciting. We'll see how free agency process works out for Sam. So we're really not even hiding it anymore, right? Which is good. I like the transparency. But does he mean we're going to look to sign him in free agency at the right price, or are we just saying thanks, man?
It's a similar situation to Kirk where they want him back at a number, and that number is likely much lower than the offer he's going to see from someone in free agency.
Yeah, totally.
It's on Sam. It's on Sam to decide if he wants to come back or if he wants to go to the Raiders or the Giants. Right. Obviously taking your chances with an organization that's not as set up as well for you.
He should go back to the Jets.
Earning generational wealth, which that's in everyone's best interest. Everyone's trying to maximize their returns and their earnings here.
I know. It'd be hard to believe if he doesn't go that route, I think. Trevor, are you psyched for J.J. McCarthy or are you skeptical?
I'm psyched. You have to have confidence in KOC and his quarterback scouting.
That is why I'm psyched.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I would not doubt it. I'm obviously nervous because of injuries and such, but the kid's only 22 years old. He's got so much growth left in his game still. And honestly, I saw him in a similar archetype as Bo Nix, just based on, how their college offenses, how they played in them. They didn't pass the ball deep. People thought they were just kind of dumping it off. Bo Nix played great. He has an arm.
Yeah.
JJ has a stronger arm than Bo Nix.
And he was coached up throughout the season. Bo got better and better. Still made a lot of mistakes. He is older. I think he's 25 already, but he had a great rookie season.
Yeah, and again, we should afford JJ that much time, if not more. He's 22 years old.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Okay, couple more NFL bits. Doc? No?
But can I just say something real quick?
Took a breath.
I'm super.
Go, Brandon.
I'm super excited for you guys. This is the most exciting time of the year.
It is.
Yeah,
you're gonna make me.
You know what? You earned that, buddy. You earned it.
Thank you. Best time of the year for us, Trev.
Cap space as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys will be buying.
We will.
Absolutely. I mean, our GM said it's the time to go get a championship. So
yeah.
I know you guys don't know what that is.
I don't know about that. Not about going to. I don't know about you guys going to win a championship.
I knew what you meant, Trevor, but that worked out funny.
I'll just stop. I'll talk to you guys
I don't know
later.
about winning championships.
Whatever that is.
It's true.
But
Very true.
no, I mean, so it's exciting times for all, right? I mean, the draft is in Green Bay. Like, let's go.
That would be fun.
Are we going?
Draft.
Let's
go.
We should.
I'm definitely going.
We absolutely should. I'm not psyched for standing in the middle of a crowd for 6 hours, but to be in that environment and get some food, and then maybe just go watch watch the first round and then watch the rest from my hotel room or something.
Well, maybe only watch like the first couple.
Have you ever been to the
NFL?
NFL draft, Alec?
Yeah. No, I know, and you have, and please retell because you had a blast, did you not?
Both times I've gone, it's been wonderful, because you don't just stand around in a crowd of people. You can.
Is that just what it always looks like on TV when they're just going over a sea of people shoulder to shoulder?
Yeah, but they set it up so it's basically like a giant NFL carnival or festival.
For sure.
Yeah, so there's different places. There's like autograph signings all over the place. There's, there's an app you download and you check in at all these places. I talked to Adam Schefter when I went to Chicago, asked him some questions.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
How's he?
He's the coolest guy ever, like just super down to earth, really excited to be there. And, I think he's one of those ESPN analysts who really appreciates his fans for where he's gotten and knows that, it's the fans that got him there. So
that's awesome.
It's every time I've gone, there's like challenges, there's like kick a field goal contests, there's quarterback challenges, there's all sorts of stuff the fans can do. When I was in Kansas City for the draft a couple years ago, Isaiah Pacheco was at the Little Caesar sponsored quarterback challenge. By the time we got to the front of the line, he'd already left, but he was throwing against fans in this challenge. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Very interactive. If you're an NFL fan, I highly recommend it. It's not just standing around all day. All the local food vendors from, whatever, city this is in, they all get together. They have a booth. It's definitely expensive food, but it doesn't disappoint. And you can drink alcohol from the time you get there in the morning until you throw up in a trash can.
You can technically do that anywhere, Brandon.
You can. You can, especially in Wisconsin.
It's just frowned upon.
It's frowned upon to not have a drink in your hand.
If you're,
Yep,
correct.
I think the second office draft off, it has to be a thing.
I'll draft you off.
Well, and here's the thing about the Green Bay NFL draft that I can't. I was actually talking to a friend in Green Bay the other day, trying to get a hotel room at his hotel. Unsuccessful, by the way. They are sold out. But the NFL and everyone that is putting together the NFL draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin is going to learn one thing, and they're going to learn it pretty quick. They are never going to have a draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin after this ever again. They don't have the hotel rooms. They don't have the space. This is in neighborhoods. This isn't.
Yeah, right. It's houses right outside the stadium. It's a really cool area, though. The one time I went to Lambeau was awesome. I was a child, but super memorable.
Yeah, they're projecting 500,000 people are going to hit the city that Wednesday into Thursday.
There will be no street parking.
Yeah, there's no lawn parking. That's where you park.
Oh, I guarantee you the houses are making bank off parking. $50 a
heck
car.
yeah.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Yep,
Man,
yep.
state
Might as well
fair,
just sleep in
but
your
bigger.
car.
Airbnbs
Right.
for the first 2 nights are going for at least $5,000 for 2 nights. Yeah,
we are going to have
it's
to sleep in the car.
Yeah, apparently. Hey, we'll
Pretty much,
take my
so.
in-laws RV.
Let's go.
Okay.
Dude,
Shit. that'd
Let's
be
RV
sick.
it.
That'd be sick.
draft show in the RV.
We throw a second
Yes.
office sticker on the side.
Boom.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna look into this.
It'll be definitely one of the most memorable experiences for an NFL draft. Just being in Titletown.
Yeah. Oh
and
man. We'd have to
I think it'll be
we'd
the
have to take my
last-
dad. He'd be pissed if I did that without him.
Yeah, and I think that they'll never have it again in Green Bay. I think they're going to learn their lesson one time, but I think to be a part of it would be really, really special.
Okay. Well, I would love to seriously consider this.
I'm
That'd be sweet.
sold.
Let's go. Okay. Cool. We'll
When is it?
We'll discuss off air. Yeah. When?
It is the last Thursday in April.
Okay. About 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm
that'll
trying
be
to
good.
find a Airbnb. You'll probably end up getting one in like Appleton or somewhere down that corridor in the Fox Valley.
To make a little drive. Is that a little drive then?
It's a 30-minute drive. You know,
that's not, yeah, that's fine.
it's like driving across Twin Cities. So
Totally
it's not a
fine.
big deal.
Okay.
Yep.
Super down for that. That's awesome.
Could do some camping in Door County.
Door County's beautiful. Good call, Trevor.
In late April, you have fun with that.
Oh, is that?
I'm
oh, yeah.
thinking about
Okay.
getting a
Fair enough.
campground this weekend.
It's
Ooh.
wet. It's cold. Yeah, I mean, good if you like the wet, cold camping, go for it. But
That's what she
I'm
said.
a little more bougie than that. I need to have a running shower and water.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You just fill up the bucket and pour it on you.
Yeah,
It's
that's
running.
That's all you need. That's all you need. I mean, you're putting enough beer in you. Just pour it over the top of you too.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
warm.
that's true.
You
Yeah,
know what I
your
mean?
System would be pretty clean.
My point is, there's options. Okay. Any other? Oh, here okay, we got to talk shit about Draymond. A little more shit about Aaron Rodgers
Always.
before
Yeah,
we
your new quarterback for the Minnesota.
before we
Vikings.
wrap her up. That's fine. He's not there yet, so I'll still talk shit. And then he'll become one of my all-time favorites.
Oh my
just,
God.
Just like Brett Favre, baby. Just like Brett Favre. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Steelers have inquired about Trevor Lawrence allegedly. One of their players was also asked about being the betting favorite to land Aaron Rodgers. Safety Deshaun Elliott made his opinion loud and clear, saying, quote, "Leave his ass at the retirement home."
Wow.
That was great.
I think
don't
the
want it.
Steelers are more likely to get Rodgers than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, probably right. I think Lawrence said he was happy.
Trevor
too, so-
Lawrence would cost you 2 first-round picks at least
Yes, correct. Yep, good point.
because he's
Okay.
also signed. So, like, if they trade him, they would eat all that dead money in his
Yes.
bonus.
Yes.
Jaguars
Yeah,
would be stupid.
Yeah, I don't
I
see
mean,
how
they
it
are
happened.
stupid,
Unless
but
correct. Unless they got a haul, though. I don't know. They just got the new OC, and I'm sure he doesn't want them to make that move. Unless he just doesn't like Trevor. Maybe that's the case. Or, sorry, Liam's their head coach. He's the Bucks OC, who's now Duval. Yes, exactly. Okay. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. But as I wrap it up, did you guys want to hear where to go? The 1954 flight attendant requirements
yes.
for Chicago and Southern Airlines. Qualifications for stewardesses.
Didn't they have to be a certain height,
Correct.
certain weight?
Yep. So there's 20 criteria. So here we go. Single, not engaged, between the ages of 22 and 28. So, man, it's like keeping a walleye in Lake Mille Lacs. Really specific requirements.
It's the most Minnesota thing you've ever said.
Hell yeah. Okay. Between 5'2" and 5'5". Between 100 and 120 pounds. They'd have to up that about 20 pounds this day and age.
And have 2
betcha.
handstands.
Yep. Good eyesight, no glasses. Good teeth. Even no gold glowing when smiling. Good figure, slender legs, natural color to hair. At least 4 years of college or 2 years of college and 2 years business experience. Oh, they wanted him to be educated. The ability to carry on a lively conversation. Good carriage. This is like, it's like an old typewriter faded font. I think that says good. Okay, I'm not sure.
Nice butt.
Probably.
This
Even
sounds
temper.
like an application to Love is Blind.
It sure does. Even temper must not be provoked by demands of passengers. Willing and anxious to please.
Is this, you said this is for a flight attendant or Sodi's girlfriends?
Nailed it. Hell yeah. Gonna keep it rolling because we got two more. That was awesome. Willing and anxious to please, which is hilarious. Willing to transfer. Citizen of the United States.
Oh,
Excellent health, clear skin, and nice hands. They gotta have nice hands.
These are qualifications to be in the Trump's cabinet, isn't it?
Again. Trevor, what else are these qualifications for? Go.
You guys got it. I got nothing right now.
Okay. Good job. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, follow all the good stuff on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Check out our shop on the website, secondoffice.com. We have a lot of cool merch for you to buy. We just got Under Armour hats. Yep. They're super cool. All that good stuff. Trevor, love you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's a great time, man.
Hell yeah. Well,
we'll see you in Green Bay.
Damn right you will. Hope to have you on again soon. We got about 10 more seconds. Doc, go. Nice. Jane, how you doing over there? That's my girl. All right. Brandon, what do you got?
Oh, kisses.
Okay.
Smoochies.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Allegedly.